But the two Ghanaian clubs in Africa also picked up some really good results from the first leg matches. They're just one match away from the group stages of their various competitions. Incredibly close. And we're very happy with that. And then, of course, the Euro Leagues are back this weekend. Kudus Mohammed scored yesterday in his first start for West Ham United in the Europa League. Was unlucky not to be awarded the first goal. In the end, it was an own goal. But he did get his name on the score sheet for one of the goals. Played in the forward position. Is that the way forward for him in that West Ham team? All right, the show is live and interactive and is sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. And then our friends at Betway, Bet Your Way. I will be telling you a bit more about these two incredible partners that we have here on the show. Like I indicated, the show is streaming on X Spaces, so do join us there if you're driving around. Cool, you're listening to us on your radio. Very privileged to have you. Yesterday was a holiday, so getting back to work today might be a bit tricky for some people. And I know some people kind of just took the day off and tried to enjoy the long weekend. So from wherever you're tuning, this is Game Plan. We are on from now till 3 p.m. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo. We really appreciate your time. I've got my guests all seated there. Gary L. Smith is here. So is Daniel Koranteng and Muftawu, Nabila, Abdullah, and then a good senior brother who makes very rare appearances on the show. And he's here today in a black shirt. It's a lot happening. Mr. Nathaniel Attoh is here. Nat,
I'll be.
Are you all right?
Well, I'm good.
Gary, you okay?
Yeah, well, bro.
Yeah?
Well, bro.
Okay.
All good, isn't it?
Yeah. All right.
You're all right, bro.
Yeah. I'm all right.
Charlie, relax.
I'm all right.
Those of us who have not crossed
Relax.
I'm all right, except purchasing power dip toe.
Charlie's on way, man.
But everything else lift though. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show.
Charlie,
Great to be here.
Sucks to come.
Before
Be
anything
at work
else,
today, man.
Before anything else,
For the holiday, man.
yeah. Before anything else, guys.
Yeah.
Before anything else, it's only appropriate to play this. And this is why, to be honest, I feel like yesterday, all the conversation and all of the people calling out Sarkodie, you have to say something. What else should he say? The people
he said it already.
He said it how many years ago? Like
7 years.
7 years ago.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Just find a song
And play!
But
want
has
remix.
opinion
What
changed?
remix?
No.
The opinion
just
hasn't
play.
changed.
Forget it.
No, but you
Yes,
said
yes,
this
it's-
is-
yes, those are his words.
Look, you play Fela Kuti's music, whether it's 1999
Or 85.
or 85
Or 2023.
or like you play Fela's music.
Yes.
Play the music and
You
do
know
the
what?
remix.
You know what they call literature? Art. It's timeless.
It's timeless. Yeah.
Okay, bring out the trash. Read the trash too.
Please
No,
relax.
no,
Muftawu,
we need to
relax.
blend
You see, Muftawu, you like spoiling issues too much.
He's not spoiling anything. No, this one we are just saying it in passing. Then we go to our sports.
What is that? Then he wants to take the thing and pass
And
somewhere.
pass
No,
away.
no,
Spoiling anything. It's true.
Is it spoiled?
I'm simply saying that all the people calling Sarkodie to come out. You see, we forced the guy came to tweet something yesterday. I mean, I didn't understand it. But you see, but what I'm saying basically
You
is
read
that
what he says. Not
no,
what he
no.
means.
You see, because he's a musician and he expresses himself through art, the art of music. He did that 7 years ago. It doesn't offend anybody for him to repeat it, but if he's not the one repeating it, we could do it for him like we just did. Okay, the issues remain the same. The things he spoke about, 98% of them still persist today. So leave Sarkodie alone, to be honest.
Obede.
Obede. What is this supposed to
Obede.
Exactly.
You know when he's coming on stage,
Yes.
when he starts playing the original, you know he has some beats. Yeah. Then the boy starts Obede. Yeah. No, but you see, I love to see Sark perform. Like he says,
right. He's a
showman. He's a showman. I'm looking forward to December, man.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'll do Sark there. There are 10 Stone Boy on. There are good Shatter.
Please, you can't do Stone Boy and Shatter at the same time.
I will do it. It's my body. What's your problem?
Not the body. You don't know what is going on.
I've heard. I said I have my body.
Encounter booking.
I said I will do it. Anything in the same vicinity, I will do. What's your problem?
See, I'm imagining how the booking happened, right? I'm imagining that our good friend Prof. Chumesi was sitting there when Shatta came.
But they mentioned,
listen, then they said, "Oh, we want the team from 26." Shatta, don't worry, you can have the hotel. then after when Stoneboy and his people came say, Stoneboy, your good friend Shatta came here, but don't worry, I'll sort you. And that's how he speaks. He said, "Oh, don't worry." Oh, Nat, what are you doing? What are you doing?
He said,
wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, views expressed on this show do not reflect the true stance of Professor Chumesi. Big shouts to Prof. Good afternoon to you all.
Charlie.
But yeah, I just want to say that we know that some of our friends and colleagues are protesting. Yesterday, lots of them were arrested. Lots of them are listeners of this show. Yeah. So it's important for us to speak to them. Be careful out there. Just do the right thing. Don't break any laws. You're on the streets. You're protesting for a good cause. Make sure that it's peaceful. Don't throw things at police officers. Don't try to vandalize anything. And if you're joining the protest, make sure you buy a new singlet and a new boxer shorts, because if they strip you naked and your boxer is torn, brother,
we will laugh.
That's the true state. We will laugh. The true state of the country is that our boxers and our singlets are torn. That's the true state of the country.
Yes. So they say that demonstration starter pack, new singlet, mosquito repellent, and then deodorant and new boxer shorts. Because, brother, you see, there are some things and there are some things. Imagine on TV. Yesterday, somebody was speaking on the TV and they came to grab him. Imagine over there, they grab you, then they ripped off your jeans, and then you see your boxer short. One side is torn, brother, or the back side is torn. You see, it is not the arrest that will pay you.
That one will pay you.
No.
If it's a torn,
because something will be dangling in some place. You don't want that. You don't want that. So anyway,
it's okay.
So yeah, let's just be careful out there. Do the right thing. Citizens' voices must be heard. It's okay. It's normal. Okay, for every functional democracy to progress, we need that. People should have a space to be able to express their opinions without fear or favor. But also within the confines of the law.
Why do I feel like you are setting us up to come and fire somebody today on the show?
No firing is needed.
The George Free matter, are you sure we are not going to fire somebody?
Muftawu is here,
so we are going to fire somebody here.
Don't worry. Anyway, Mr. Attoh, I know
we are going to talk about Man United too. Who are we going to fire?
We will. Don't worry. Onana, they said his handling issues are continuing. He dropped his keys on the way to training.
Charlie, make you guys relax for Onana.
I beg. Have you gotten the song yet?
Which one?
The day he was signed, I had.
Onana.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
Let's play It Wasn't Me for him.
Quick.
Wasn't me.
Anyway, so the show is live and interactive on social media, so do get in touch with us. Use the WhatsApp number 05511119997. 05511119997. Also on Twitter, you can get in touch with us using the hashtag GamePlan. Now, I know you have to go because you have a show at 2 p.m. So I'm going to begin with you with what you have enormous expertise in, which is boxing. We took 12 boxers to the qualifiers in Dakar. Every single one of them got kicked out. The most or the farthest any boxer progressed to was actually the semi-final. We had only one boxer in the semi-final. That didn't work out. He also lost eventually. And we ended up not booking a single Olympic sport. To book an Olympic sport, you needed to win your division at the qualifiers. We only got to the semi-finals. We only had one boxer there. The rest of them were kicked out in the very first round, including our very own Freezy McBones. He lost in his very first fight. Now, how have we gotten to this point? Because there was a point where boxing had always been, especially for this multi-sport event, boxing had always been the one sporting discipline where Ghana always excelled. Somehow, we can't even book tickets anymore to get to the Olympic Games. And coming on the back of the fact that we won a first Olympic medal in more than 30 years, you would have expected that we would build on that. But there were enormous issues regarding that particular boxer, Samuel Techi, so he ended up not even going. And the ones we took, we didn't even get anywhere.
I'm not sure that as a nation we probably even deserved Samuel Techi's medal. And I'm sure that if you go around the table, everybody would allude to that, that statement that I am making, and you can assign that to me.
I told you there was fire coming. I told you there was fire coming.
This is not to bring the blame to the doorstep of a particular individual or a particular regime. But as a people, I think that we have to get to the stage where we start looking at the places where we have our competitive advantage. Look at Jamaica. The sprints and anything around sprints in Jamaica is World Cup, as we put it in our local parlance. When you go to Jamaica now, everything around sprints, from when a child is born to the last person who dies, is taken like it's the last day, somebody's last day on earth, or we're taking our last breath. Why is it that a sport that has given us majority of the medals that we've won on the world's biggest multi-sport stage is still having to cry for simple things like camping boxes? Because you see, camping boxes alone is just one little fraction of the whole value chain and the whole responsibility chain. I went into that camp. It wasn't a residential camp, it was a daily camp. And we brought a 1 hour package here. We put it on all of our platforms. And everybody saw how the boxers were going in and out of there, eating what they wanted to eat, drinking what they wanted to drink, indulging with whoever they wanted to indulge with after training, going to bed at whichever time they wanted to go to bed, and come back to training the next day. And you expect Ofure Asari and his technical team to go and churn out magic. It doesn't work like that. And you see, sometimes we always keep talking about, if you take 4 players allowances in the Black Stars or 4 players tickets to a friendly, it can take care of it. Okay, yes. So why don't we do it? Why don't we just go ahead and do it? Look, like I said, the problem we have or the solutions we need go beyond camping boxes or bringing them together to camp ahead of a tournament. It is a down-up approach where you start from the foundation and end up at the top. Let me switch the gears a bit to football. In 2014, when Germany won the World Cup, it was as a result of a systematic program that had been adhered to by the letter. They had sat back, they had taken a scientific approach about how the look and feel of their football was going, and they thought they needed to take a different direction. There was a blueprint. It was taken down to every single academy, and that philosophy was applied. And so every single child who came out of there had a certain mentality when it came to being on the pitch and playing. And what was the result? They went into Brazil, almighty Brazil, and desecrated the Seleção right before their home fans on no less a platform but the FIFA World Cup. So in the same way, let us just come together and have a final conversation. I always keep saying it when we have conversations like these, that I get tired. I've been at this thing for the better part of 2 decades. I get tired when we have to come and sit here every other season and talk about, and there's an emergency in 2 weeks' time or in 3 days' time. If they don't get their tickets, they cannot travel, or they've gone to take part in the thing and they can't get their bonuses. These things are, have been left behind. Look at the people we go and compete with, and look at where they've gotten to regarding how they organize their teams and how they come to participate in these tournaments. let me not take too much of the time. Let's just go this way.
Hey, Nat, calm down.
Now,
No, fire away.
no, listen. Charlie, but you make a fire away. When I'm tired, you know the most you know bring some. Then now you can't make a fire. Oh, Charlie, Daddy K, you be my guy. Make you don't do so.
Oh, Charlie.
You know, to be fair,
Oh, Charlie.
to be fair, the show is sponsored by Petrol, pouring petrol into the.
Charlie, now this guy, I beg. Slow down for me.
That God.
Look,
Let's go.
Look,
More
so
fire.
listen,
More
so
fire.
listen.
More fire.
Now we have two opportunities. One of them in Italy,
Okay.
one of them in Thailand. And guess what? In Thailand, there's a good old visitor coming by. The most achieved boxer when it comes to the number of titles won in any weight class. I'm talking about the almighty Manny Pacquiao. For a moment, we all thought, oh, he was going to put everything aside and try to toe George Weah's line and want to go and take part in the political process to become the second sports legend to become a president in the world. But guess what? He says he wants to come to the Olympics in France.
Wow.
And so, our boxers, no matter what kind
Wait,
of
hold
preparation
on,
we
hold
give
on.
them.
So our bosses are going to fight Manny
Wait,
Pacquiao.
hold on.
Oh, how?
Nat, hold on.
Oh, how?
You are telling us that the multiple weight division champion,
Pound for
one of
pound.
the best pound for pound boxers of all time, has decided that he wants to come and
Come to
fight
the
at-
Olympics.
and
Yes.
fight as an amateur.
Well, so if he decides that he wants to go to the Olympics in Thailand,
Yeah.
he may be the visitor there. So let's just see how it goes. Unless, of course, we go and sit back and say, well, by some funny design, the rules have been,
Changed, yeah.
turned around and, shuffled so that we can what? We can have him come and feature in about. That is not possible. If you want to go take part, you have to go and qualify. And so these are the kinds of challenges we expect on the ground when we go for these qualifiers. Now, so we need to just understand that, look, the guys need a lot of help. And the help is not rocket science. Sometimes I get very saddened when I go into the camp of the Black Bombers and you see everybody wearing whatever they want. So just like we're sitting here in the studio, Gary is wearing something peach. Danny K, they wear some,
Black and
zebra
white.
movement like that. So the disco boys, them colors.
No,
and
no,
then,
look at
Muftawu is wearing some is nice, African shirt like that. You understand me? That is not teamwork. You see, when we talk about these things, we will say, oh, but this one shouldn't be a big deal. Guess what? Kitting has a way of affecting the psyche and the psychology of players when it comes to teamwork.
I agree.
Yes,
I
so
agree. It's not
it is
even hidden.
It is
There's a
not. It is not.
Yeah.
It's not just like somebody wants to pursue vanity or somebody just wants to be colorful. The reason why all players will have to wear one color or one attire when they are in a certain place. It all feeds into discipline. It feeds into
Even
so look,
confidence.
so
Quick
see,
anecdote. AFCON to 2002. John Pencil has spoken about this in the past.
Yeah.
When he said when they were in camp,
Yeah.
right, they didn't have kits. Okay, even at jerseys, Mr. Kujo Fiano was team manager. He had to use crayon to write numbers. He said when it's time to go and eat, okay, you will see. He said you will see the South Africans. They will dress up in their kits. They are looking all nice, and what you have brought from your club, that is what you wear to go and eat with them. And you see them, and even with that one, it even gives you. He said it dampens your spirit. It's
Thank
like
you.
you're not even at that professional level.
Thank you.
One time, Muftawu, you interviewed Stephen Appiah recently. He spoke about the friendly game they went to. They went to town to look for kits to buy for the rest of his teammates so that everybody will look slightly organized.
Yeah.
Because those things are extremely important.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things, when I worked on the documentary on the qualifiers for the OSIS World Cup, that's one of the things John Pinsel spoke about what Kwesi Nyantakyi did when he became president.
And why it
when
was
they
important,
why
yeah.
it was important. When they got them the kit sponsorship from
Puma.
Umbro at
Yeah,
the time.
Umbro started and then Puma took
before
over.
Puma
Yeah.
came. He said once they got the kit, and even that one meant something to them. The
Yeah.
fact that I could wear a tracksuit and look nice, very organized with Ghana logo here, and it's better than everybody moving about. The World Athletics Championship that we just came from, you saw Team Ghana from the time they started camping to the time they went. Did you ever see them in an organized kit?
Some way.
Everybody is wearing anything basa.
Oh,
and,
really?
and see,
mean really?
and you
You-
see,
you ca-
and you see now, you see, in the last few days,
plenty.
in the past 2 or 3 days, we've been talking about the rule of law and order. Look, the rules of sport don't permit those practices.
Yeah.
It is wrong. It is becoming a sin. In 2023, as we all exist, it is a sin for a national team to be camping and having dress haphazardly. It is wrong.
Charlie.
So we need to get our act right.
Yes.
If we want to appear and answer the roll call in Paris, then we need to get ourselves properly organized.
Let's talk
Now-
about the talent.
Okay, so
The
so
boxers
I'll
that
give
we
you
took.
so no. Let me touch on the subject of Freezy McBones. Once again,
Okay.
I mean, it's been done already. I thought that as a people, look, Freezy McBones, I love the guy to bits. I love his story. I love where he's come from, and I believe that that's the reason why he gained a lot of traction on social media and around the place. But with all due respects, you see, he's just gathered 2 professional bouts. In a way, he is still trying to find his feet within the professional ranks. And it was important that we all as a people watered down our expectations. Because you see, when you get on those stages, it is about technique and it is about your aggression, effective aggression. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately for Freezy, he couldn't get that right. What I love about him once again is the spirit that now there are 2 more opportunities. And with that zeal and that verve, and a little extra when it comes to technique, he can get it right. But as a people, I think that when we're getting on these stages, it's just like Black Stars now. Look, you know we have an outstanding friendly with with England, right? The agreement was that we were going to play England in England and then Ghana in Ghana. Ghana, England in Ghana. But would you want Black Stars now to go and play them? No. We don't have an Asamoah to come and stand them at the last minute. No. So hold on. In the same way,
the whole deal
in the
is
same way,
you don't understand. We want to play England today. You say what? It doesn't matter if we have a team or not.
Is Hurricane want to see Philly? Asamoah want to go and go. We don't care. We don't care. What is it?
That's fine. It's like that doesn't live in Ghana. We want to play. See, yeah, listen. We want to play England. We want to go and support Blasters in England.
Charlie, we want to make I like your matter. Charlie,
Blasters in England.
In England.
Monday.
Listen,
Fentuo.
the last time the Black Stars played against England
At
at Wembley in 2011.
Yes.
Okay. I have a friend. I live with him. He's now in the British Army. he went as a supporter.
Charlie,
You
Monday free lunch, because this matter you talk there. You kill everybody.
Look at that too. He's saying that we don't have a team. Do we care?
We
We
don't
want
care.
to play England.
In fact, even if it's the Black Meteors or Black Settlers that are going, it is Ghana versus England. We want to go.
Charlie, make a finish my matter and go to TV top. Charlie, so look. Long and short, let's get ourselves organized. Let's understand that this thing is not about sitting back, crossing your legs, sipping wine, and saying, "Oh, Charlie, this boy be hard guy. When you go figure we." No. Yeah, it's not done that way anymore. So let's just let's project. We've got late February to March. Let me give you a quick one before I go. See, we can just get an inter-sub-regional competition. Get the guys. We can bring them here if we don't want to travel around. Bring Togo, Team Nigeria, Team Cote d'Ivoire. All these guys are also fighting for places, and they're going to use the same platforms as well. Get Team Senegal, let them come and visit. Let's have an invitational tournament at the arena, and get the boys, psychologically up there for these challenges. The other thing that we fight against as well, before I wrap up, is the lefts and rights, the Logoligi movement, on those platforms. Those things you cannot run away from. The cheating, you cannot run away from it.
Yeah.
So just like the legend Azuma Nelson said, go into the ring with your own referee, and that is your punch. And it has to be an effective punch that gets the results.
Nat, what do you know about these boys and their talent level? Abdul Wahid Umar is a veteran amateur boxer.
Yes.
He's refusing to go professional.
Yes.
He was in
Beijing
2008.
208.
He was in the
Was in
Commonwealth
India.
Games in Scotland as well. He was at
In India.
He was in India as well.
And he won a
2010.
bronze medal in India.
Yeah,
He was
2010.
in Australia as well.
Commonwealth Games. He was in Australia. He was in Rio. He didn't qualify. He was at the last tournament at Olympics too.
Yeah.
He was in Tokyo. Didn't do too well. Then there's Jonathan Tete, of course, who also got kicked out in the quarterfinal stage in the men's heavyweight division. Joseph Kome was the one who went all the way to the semi-finals. The only one who made it all the way to the semi-finals. Or there was that Theophilus Aloti as well. And then Anatu Mohammed, the female boxers, and then the doctor, Sathud. How good are these ones?
Okay, so let's remember that there were a few things that were not out there, the public domain. For instance, that Onela Sathud, who is the first female boxer from Ghana to have won a medal in competition, had a serious issue with, she had a big stomach upset. She had subtle food poisoning, because I'm told that the food that they were served had like very big amounts of sugar, and these like things are always, and that's the reason why sometimes some teams who can afford
hold on, Nat. They said the team, they said the food in Senegal it's too much. No, they said it was too much sugar. So they don't like sweet things.
I say sugar is representing the other things. Hey, why your life this way, my brother? Anyway.
So they said they beat our boxers because. Hold on.
No. So there were some health challenges.
Yeah. Okay. Nutritional issues.
I didn't even expect her to go into that second bout. I didn't expect her to.
She's a doctor, isn't she?
Well, she.
I don't know whether it's doctor of books or doctor of
books. Yes. So. A
PhD fighter.
Yeah. So you see.
Yeah.
But the guys, But so see, these challenges come up every time. And the interesting thing, just like Floyd Mayweather Jr. will say, is that we see the flashy bit, we see what's out there, but we don't know what the struggles are like. Yeah. You understand me? And we need to give that to the boxers. They had to go through all of that. Okay. Now, we didn't have a super preparation, okay? But Kome, clearly from what we've seen of him from the Commonwealth Games till now, has something to offer the nation.
Yeah.
All these boxers we're talking about have something to offer the nation. What we now need, like I said, is that we need to get them working. And it doesn't have to be one-dimensional. Let's get them good opposition from different places. Because when you step up there on those stages, it is the hungry young boxers who are coming from all over the place, who have had way better experience than you have, who are going to step into the ring with you. And guess what? On the average, when you take a national team boxer in any country, especially in Europe and the Americas, you can have a national team boxer who's had about 80 fights, as against our most experienced boxer who would have maybe like 35 bouts. And that statistic exists now as we're having this analysis.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work to be done. But for me, like I said, this thing is not crossing your legs and just projecting and thinking that, oh, God is a Ghanaian, so because of that, when we get there, God will smile at the Ghanaian flag. No way. It doesn't work like that.
And we got what, 3 medals from the Commonwealth Games from boxing alone?
No. They're more on the Commonwealth level. At the level of the Olympics I'm talking
about the last Commonwealth
Games. The last one, it was 3. It was
3 medals. So the expectation, obviously, was that at least those 3 would have booked tickets to the Olympic Games, and then over there, they would have tried to turn their bronze medals into maybe silver or maybe something gold. But the fact that within a year or 2 years, they cannot even now qualify for the Olympic Games is problematic and is worrisome. And for me, I think that's where the biggest issue is. And Nat has laid them down. It's not just an issue of talent, it's an issue of preparation, it's an issue of even challenge. Because what kind of opposition have we given them? Because giving them fights and bringing different fighters from different countries is more or less like playing friendly matches ahead of a major tournament. We haven't given them that. They're just sparring against each other. And sometimes that is a bit difficult. So we really have to invest. And, unfortunately, that's where we are right now. We took 12 boxers to Senegal. They came back with absolutely nothing. But perhaps the example. So that's that. Anyway,
Samuel Techi is live with us for the next 30 minutes on JoyNews.
We're
continuing this conversation. Yes, it's a one-on-one. He's making a return to the national team, and that is a big conversation.
Give us a feeling now. What's the situation with him? He didn't go to Senegal.
Very well.
Because he said they owed him money that they didn't pay.
Very well.
What's the situation now?
Well, conversations have gone on in the background, and the good thing is that Samuel Techi, all things being equal, will be making a return to the national team. And so in the qualifier that will take place in Italy. All things being equal, we should see him there.
That
and
is a
hopefully,
match
if we have to
next
go
year.
to Thailand as well in May, we should see him there, depending on how government collaborates with.
Have they paid this money?
Not yet.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. All right, cool. Thank
Charlie?
you.
No,
Thank you. Now.
Fentuo, that money will not be paid.
Why not?
It will be paid when he gives them a plan of how he wants to compete.
055-1111-997. Lots of you are sending in messages already. Let me read a couple of them before I go into one of our biggest topics for the day. Georgia Free Year's disqualification and his subsequent decision to go to the courts of arbitration for sport. The issues there are enormous. Muftawu Nabila is here to open the can of worms that is in that particular matter. This one says, good afternoon, I'm Pep Guardiola from La Paz. Last week it didn't come, so but we know Bo. Don't come and waste today's time talking about Ghana League and Olympics. Please, they aren't serious. Use of all the time.
He said use all the time.
Okay, they aren't serious. Use all the time for foreign. We beg you. We can even contribute and buy more airtime for you to do foreign news. Some more. And all right, interesting. Good evening. Okay, where is it?
No, that's not ours.
Sorry, that's not our message. This one says, hi guys.
Yeah.
Somebody says we should do the sports and leave the other issues. He said they are all the same. Joy, that is virus in North Legon with that message. This one says, Fent, get serious small in this life. We take 12 boxers as a nation to Senegal. All of them are beaten like common criminals. And now you say we have another opportunity to get qualification through another route. Ghana and Kasa, we see truth and we fear to say it. I always say we should just forget about sports for the next 5 years until we get the basics right and invest into sports. Nigeria took 8 boxers to Senegal and got 3 of them to qualify for the Olympic Games. Nigeria is now about to start national youth games in Delta State, and we don't even know when we even organize National Sports Festival, how much more national youth games. My message is dedicated to Man United. So now I feel his pain, conceding 14 goals in just 6 games, shaking my head. It's an exciting time to be an Arsenal supporter. Martin Odegaard just signed a 5-year contract extension. Godwin in North Kaneshi with that message. Somebody is adding to Kelly Ozil in Accra says about the 2002 AFCON. Samiko for left come so early. One of the reasons he said was that the players were eating at roadside shop bar. That is true. And he also complained about the quality of the kit at the time. He said the jersey was really bad quality. Tata, my name is Tata, aka Bedroom $1 million. Wow. And he has a message for Nat. It says, Mr. Nat, the only sports that seem to attract some seriousness in Ghana is the Black Stars. Aside that, none of our sports is being developed. Ghana does not only deserve the name you mentioned, bro. Ghana does not deserve any talented sportsman or women. What Ghana do best is waste talent. That's why I'm so disappointed in Freezy Macaroni, a.k.a. Freezy McBones. Why do you fight for a country that has numerous evidence of how they treat talent? Every country in the world is developing their sports except Ghana. Dwelling on past glories has become the national anthem. Shame.
Okay,
so Ope Bra Papa Biaba was supposed to run very far away from Ghana because they will waste you. Good afternoon. 055-1111-997. The hashtag is Joy Sports. The hashtag is Game Plan on Twitter. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM as well as Hits 103.9 FM, brought to you by Betway. And Betway is saying go for gold and bet risk free on the new season with Betway. Use the golden booking code found on the Betway site to bet on selected match weeks and get 100% back as a free bet on any losses. You always get way more with Betway. How many of you saw the guy who won the 300,000 CDs on Betway?
Yeah.
Alasan guy.
Yeah.
Danny K. Brother.
Charlie, it's always somebody else. It's never me.
I remember 2016 one is it K Kwame or something like that. One over 900,000 Ghana cities.
They say his family people were chasing him or something.
I remember
Nana K or something like that.
When Afi called me to do the story, I was like, so me, I'm going to do a story about someone winning 900,000. Why not me?
Hey, 300 and Charlie, people are winning all. But for me, I think the government wins more. It'll be small tax, 10%. over 30,000.
Yes.
They collect it. So anyway,
Don't use it for anything too. That is okay. It's okay. But it's true. The way that is vexed. They're not using it for anything.
They'll go and fix the road.
Relax.
Fix what road?
Remember some road be that some.
No, it's my hometown road. Why are you talking like the thing is far from me?
Not the one where it cut. There was some road where someone they go do campaign.
Charlie, the thing you are describing is everywhere.
So which one?
There's some road that is sport is everywhere.
What he's saying,
he can apply to him. He can apply to
what
him.
Daniel is saying is that what you're talking about cannot be just specific to one area. It's the situation everywhere.
Okay, so what I am trying to say is
we know what you are trying to say. You said that you are referring to the video of somebody's car stuck.
That's the point. You know that. You know that.
Yeah.
If they take the tax, they go and fix it.
Anyway, so you can also be like,
They will fix the car. They will fix the road.
You can also win. He used 100 Ghana to win 300,000 Ghana cedis. It's crazy. But Betway are saying that with their free bet and get your money back, if you can get everything back if you stake and you lose, but it's only up to a certain amount. So with Betway you always get way more. Terms and conditions apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. If you're under 18, this is not for you. I beg you, don't do it, don't try it. Betway, get way more. Petrosol are also very, very important partners here, sponsors here on the show. We appreciate their time and their valuable advice, which is that every drop matters, just as every penny counts. You have to be aware that good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs. So take no risk in times like this. All you need is value for your money. Look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station. Yes, Petrosol, your go-to station for accurate quantity of high quality fuel. Don't just buy fuel from anywhere. Buy Petrosol, and you will thank me later for recommending them for you. Be a happy customer, filled with smiles, drive more miles and save more money. Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. All right, within a week.
Wait. You said something about Freezy McBones.
I
want to correct the correction.
Okay. Correct the correction, please. Please.
Somebody sent a text about Freezy and why he decided on Ghana when he could have Boga.
He couldn't have
Boga. the UK Olympic team. Have you seen the UK Olympic team?
Brother.
The UK Olympic team is not vibes and inshallah.
Yeah.
Proper training.
It's proper training.
From under 9.
Wait, you're saying that he had no chance?
He had absolutely no chance. We love
of
Freezy.
representing the...
Look, we love Freezy. And his story alone would have inspired so many people.
He would have been Ghana's biggest star.
He would have been Ghana's biggest news story. Yeah. At the Olympics. I mean, regardless, but he couldn't make it to the British team, whether it's the UK team or it's the UK.
No, Great
team
Britain.
Great Britain team they are taking. So Charlie, I beg. This is England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. Yeah. Please. I'm sorry.
And the British, to be fair, boxing is one of their biggest strengths.
It's one of their biggest things.
It is.
Yes.
Let's talk about our biggest strength, which is elections. As a country, we are excellent at elections. As for that one, comparatively, we are excellent at elections. Yeah. We've held how many elections now? And
you don't need to justify your point. You continue.
Okay, I don't need to justify. Thank you very much. We are excellent at elections.
Have you seen Muftawu shoe?
I have.
I mean, I was wondering when it was.
Somebody was going to point it out.
Yeah, Charlie. Muftawu shoe. It's a Nike. You remember Nike Presto? In a guy Presto. Yeah. Muftawu is wearing Nike.
Where is the camera? I want everyone to see. I don't want people telling you on Twitter and ask you.
The sole of the shoe is like the fourth baking soda.
Take a picture of his shoe. Put
it on Twitter. Muftawu is wearing.
Socks no day inside. They might think that there's socks inside. Yeah. Before you go and add the story that
you are wearing the sneaker without socks.
Please.
But you can wear.
You just said socks no day, and I was saying why.
Relax.
That required emphasis.
Do you know that this gentleman is very good at creating stories that's not?
But this one I'm not creating it. But you said. So if they pour baking soda, they put the thing inside. I said baking soda, baking powder, they put the thing inside the oven. It will rise. See
the sole of the shoe.
So Fentuo.
Like okay, so you're saying that Muftawu shoe, no, will behave like bread.
Like bread.
When you put it in the oven.
No, I am not understand.
You have nothing to say to this. There's no defense of it. Let's move on to the most important topic of the last few weeks. Georgia Free was disqualified from contesting the GFA elections, which has now been rescheduled to October 5, by the way. Yeah. We haven't been giving an explanation for why. But we also know they have an impending court case, an injunction application from King Faisal. That was supposed to have been heard last week, actually. But the judge apparently fell ill, so it wasn't heard.
It was actually this week. 19th.
Yes. Oh, we're still in this week. Yeah. I meant a few days ago. Yeah, I think on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
So, so that wasn't heard. So that's still lingering, and now there's a massive legal education out there about what an application means, for an application for injunction means, whether it means that stop and don't do it, or whether it means that you can do it and wait for the outcome until it is determined. So we are now in that period, in that era. And it's only appropriate. King Faisal have applied for an injunction on the league. Now, that injunction application, the notice was apparently served the GFA, but the injunction application hasn't been heard. So, actual injunction hasn't been granted. The GFA have shifted the elections to October 5.
So, what you're saying is that is why they are able to shift the election and say
and
that
I'm
we
saying
can do
that
it on this date.
They haven't given a reason, but I'm saying that it is possible.
No.
That has always been my argument. So if someone comes to apply for something,
yes,
the court hasn't granted it. So why am I pausing everything? If I am going through the process and the court decides that, okay, stop, I am placing an injunction on your process, then you stop.
So, Muftawu, what you are saying now is that, as we speak now, the GFA could have, today is the 22nd.
Yes.
In 5 days, they should have been able to hold the elections.
To hold the elections because
Okay.
it's just an application.
Yes,
the court hasn't granted it.
I understand that part.
Yeah.
The argument I've heard on that many times over is that once you are notified of the application, it is assumed that there's an actual issue. So going ahead, despite being notified of the application, if you go ahead and you do what you have to do, and it turns out, let's say eventually the injunction is granted, and there's a substantive case that is heard, and you should not have done what you did, the injury that you would have caused by going ahead to do it despite the notification would have been irreversible.
Okay.
So for me, it's an argument. It's not my opinion.
The things are subject to interpretation.
Yes.
Because
that's what I'm
you
saying.
hear people also tell you that, just like you're saying, in as much as you cause injury, the point is, it is the court to determine whether you have a case or not.
So that's why they say, in good faith, you relax until all the processes
that is a
go
good
through.
faith. If I don't have good faith,
so
we go.
So a good example would be if you built a house on my land, okay, and I come and I say I'm going to destroy it, okay, and I take machines and I say I'm going to destroy it. You go and secure an injunction. Okay, no, you go and apply for an injunction against me for breaking that. You notify me that I've gone to court to secure or to apply for an injunction. Now that hasn't been heard. That injunction would be to stop you from breaking it, but it hasn't been heard. And I say, because it hasn't been heard, I'm going ahead to break the building. Then I go and break the whole building. Now you go back to court, the injunction is now granted, the building is down. Then you go, hold on.
That's a different analogy.
It's not.
It's a different analogy. So for instance, here we are talking about the GFA elections. The GFA decides that let's go to Tamale and organize our elections because the issue is still pending. The court is yet to determine whether King
Faisal has different from what I just said.
It is different. It is different in the sense that when we go to Tamale for the elections, let's say we go to Tamale, Keto Kriku is voted GFA president. Court comes to say that, okay, he should have put it on hold. Or I am placing, I don't even get it. I want to place an injunction on the process that you are having now, right?
Yes.
Because the injunction has not been placed.
Yes.
We've gone ahead to do our election. We've organized our elections. Now you've gone to court. Court will now tell you that, okay, it was a process that you wanted to injunct. The process is over.
So that
is the process not over? It is over.
Yes, but
So
you
what
see,
are you not going to
no, Muftawu, you're missing the point. You want to injunct the process because of what?
Because you have a case.
Thank you. So it's not the injunction that is the case, oh. It's the actual substantive matter.
Yeah.
So but you're saying that
and it is the court's decision to determine whether you have a case or not.
I'm not saying yes, but I'm saying that the injunction, the purpose of the injunction application is to say that before my substantive matter is heard, until that is determined, I want to pause the entire process. Because if you go ahead with the process, it causes injury to my case. And it's only fair. You understand my point?
So yeah, we get it.
So they're saying that the process.
That's why you said in good faith.
In good faith. But if I don't have the good faith, I also proceed.
Sure. So
Okay, anyway. So I'm saying that perhaps that's why the GFA have shifted the
To
date.
October 5.
I don't know for sure. But that is also pending. But the biggest issue has to do. But they also have to face legal threats from George Free's camp, who appealed his disqualification. The appeal was thrown out by the GFA Appeals Committee. Now he's exhausted all the legal avenues at the GFA. So now he says he's going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. We don't know if he's actually filed yet.
Not yet. It will be filed on Monday.
Thank you. But Muftawu, you read the decision of the Appeals Committee and what they said about George's case. What exactly did they stand on to say your appeal will not be won, and that we are upholding the decision of the Elections Committee?
Okay, so in fact, I went beyond just reading the document to also interact with people within. Spoke to Amanda Clinton, who suffered same. Spoke to the camp of George Freer, including his lawyer. And so that I'll be properly educated on this thing, because you need to understand the reasoning behind the appeal committee to come up with that decision. So one of the things that I wanted to understand, and this, you need to be very fair to the appeal committee. The appeal committee, what they said was that they were there to deal with facts, not with the law, because. And if you recall, when George Freer's camp wrote to the GFA to ask for the vetting, what they told him was that if you go for an appeal and the appellate body decides to ask us to bring facts, you are disputing facts, you're not disputing the law. So when I had conversations with people, one of the things they told me was that George Freer had said the composition of the elections committee is supposed to be 5 per Article 54 of the GFA statutes. But when he came, there were 6 of them. The appeal committee said that, well, the seat person is an in-house lawyer of the GFA and only came to provide administrative assistance to the committee, which is allowed by the statutes of the Ghana Football Association. And George Freer had also talked about.
So you're saying that one of the sticking points for George's case was that says people should not have sat on the vetting committee.
Yes, because it's contrary to the regulations of the FA.
Okay,
so,
I get it.
But they told him that it is not contrary. The person was there as an in-house lawyer. He came to provide administrative assistance, and the statutes of the FA allows it. So we see nothing wrong with it.
Just to be clear, the person is a she, right?
Yes, a she.
Okay.
Yes. they see nothing wrong with it, and also,
but see, I'm not trying to be cynical, but if the main issue with George's disqualification or case was the signatory.
No. I'm also so the grounds. I'll come to the grounds.
The grounds is so I know what the grounds is.
Yeah.
And you're going there.
Yes.
But the point you just made. No, I'm trying to
understand how.
Okay. Just sometimes some of these things, it is difficult. How you understand it is different from the person who is saying that.
I know.
So
I know.
The laws are the laws. If the law says that
there should be 5 people,
4 people should be doing this show and we are 5, they go like, oh, you are crowded. That's the law.
Yeah.
So if they're supposed to be 5 and
if somebody gets disqualified as a result of something else, then I'll come and say, but the 5 people crowd was illegal. So
No, that is clearly an afterthought, and that is where personally I think that.
So now you understand my point.
If George Free had issues with the compensation, he should have told them their point blank.
Exactly.
But the statutes of the FA, you're supposed to be 5.
Yeah.
Why are you 6?
6 here? Yeah.
But
Not
And then
after the
insist
fact.
on not being vetted until
yes,
the right number was.
until the right thing is done. And if you didn't do that, and it is afterthought that you're not coming to tell, per Article 54 of the FA statutes, you're supposed to be 5 and you are 6, and what.
I know who pointed that out to them.
Mickey Charles.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Let's move on and talk about
Charlie,
serious issues.
the underlying issues. You Muftawu, go on.
Yeah, no, I'll come to the underlying issues, and I know exactly what you want to talk about. But I also think that when he spoke about Article A3 of the GFA statutes, which requires that when you are submitting your forms, nomination forms, and all that, you're supposed to be given at least 2 days if there are issues with your forms for you to go and provide corrections and all that. They told him that.
So he said he wasn't given that.
No, he wasn't given,
Okay,
which is the
good.
truth.
Yes.
They told him that that was not a mistake to the appeal committee. It is not a mistake.
It was deliberate, and there's reasoning for it.
And there's a reasoning for it.
What's the reason?
Okay, so what they said was that the person who signed the document, which is Jeffrey Asari. In fact, I have spoken to Jeffrey Asari. I asked him. I spoke to Jeffrey Asari.
Okay.
I asked him how he was the one to sign on behalf of Kuku Battles, and he explained to me. What he told me was that Kuku had spoken to him and told him that George Free wanted someone to endorse his form for the GFA presidential elections. So George Free was going to come to him to Kumasi, or in Kumasi, to sign the form. So George went to Kumasi to go and meet Jeffrey Asari to sign the document. So Jeffrey did the signing because Kuku Battles asked him to sign.
Okay.
And also, they even said that there are documents at the FA that tells them that Jeffrey Asari is a general manager. So from where I sit, then what they could have done was that they could have even added a power of attorney that says that the owner of the club says I should sign for George Free.
In that case, he's not signing as Jeffrey. He's signing
on behalf
Yes.
of
The director.
of the director of the company.
Yeah.
Okay. But the other thing, when I spoke to Amanda Clinton, that I asked her a question. When the elections committee asked you to go and make changes to your nomination form
For
That's
clarity,
in 2019.
in 2019,
In
Amanda
2019.
Clinton.
was it an authorized signatory or it was incomplete documents? And what she told me was that it was an authorized signatory. So they asked her to go and get the right person to sign the document, because the person who signed does not have the power to sign.
So in other words, the precedent is exactly the same.
Is the same.
Okay.
So there's a judicial precedent that says that if someone signs a document, the person is not authorized. Based on what Amanda Clinton said, it means that the committee, the elections committee, could have given George Free that opportunity.
Did George Free and his legal team raise that point at the appeals committee?
I'm not too sure they did.
Did you not talk to them to give them that advice? It sounds to me like really good point.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is that I'm sure it is something that they have now considered going to CAS, because if there's a judicial precedent, it means that you should give the person the room. But now let me just talk about the conversations I've had with people within both the elections, the appeal, and the George Free's camp. And okay, so this is it. We've all seen the document. We've all read the decisions of the committee.
Just before you go on, if anybody is lost or it's kind of at sea at what we're talking about, George Free was disqualified from contesting Keto Kreku as for the GFA presidential election because one of the signatures that endorsed his form was deemed to have been an illegal signature.
Yeah.
That's what, and that was Jeffrey Asari's signature, which is what Muftawu has been talking about. Now go on.
Okay, so we've all seen the decision of the committee. One, George Free, you asked Jeffrey Asari to sign to endorse your form, Jeffrey Asare is not authorized signatory per Article 13J2 of the GFA statute. That's point one. You also told us that you had an affidavit that was sworn by Tachiman 11 Wonders, and that if you felt that Jeffrey Asare signing invalidates your nomination form, what it means was that they could have replaced Victory Warriors FC with Tachiman 11 Wonders.
Okay.
But the committee said no, and in fact, I've had the privilege of seeing that document. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a standard form that has a space for only 5 endorsements.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you tell us that because the fifth person who signed for you is not authorized and that portion is taken out, there's no other portion that you tell us that because someone has sworn an affidavit, you can pull it up to replace the one that has been invalidated. But the argument that has also been put out by many people is that within the regulations governing football elections, sometimes you can even have as many as 10, 20 people endorse you. But only 5 people can sign the form at a time. So if 5 people have signed the form, and that is the argument of the elections committee and the appeal committee. I remember a conversation I was having with one of them, and the person asked me a question which was quite interesting. He said that if I have 5 forms, let's say I'm going to the market and I have a sheet of paper with stuff I was going to buy, and mistakenly one of the things I'm going to buy is spoiled, would I say that because I have something at the back I could pull it up and replace it? In fact, it was quite an interesting conversation because I needed to be properly educated. In the end, I came to the conclusion that the committee purely dealt with what they felt the law is, their interpretation of the law. Their interpretation of the law is that the document is a standard form, and if you feel that more people have endorsed you and that can easily replace, declare their support for you and that can easily replace, that's not the case. That's entirely not the case. But there's also another interesting issue. The fact that it took a petition against George Free for the committee to realize that indeed Jeffrey Asare is not the signatory.
You're saying somebody choked George?
Yes, someone choked.
So you're saying that the committee on their own probably would not have realized that Jeffrey was not a qualified
it was a
signature.
Petition. In fact, there were 4.
It was a petition, which means that somebody did it.
Yes.
And that's what I was saying.
There were 4 petitions.
Wait,
4 petitions against George Free. 4.
Oh.
On the same matter?
And in fact, no, not the same matter.
Okay.
Separate matters. One of them was the fact that he supported Tano Bofuakwa to renovate their facility.
Stadium.
They claim it was
gave
owned
them
by
10,000 cities.
10,000 cities. So the committee said, "Oh, this one is not relevant." So they put it aside.
Was there something about taxes?
Oh no, those ones they were nothing. They were nothing serious.
Let's tell the people.
Yeah, no, they were nothing serious. Those things.
But what was nothing serious?
Okay, a text message to Kwesi Nyantechi some many years ago that he was greedy and what they said this one too.
It's too petty.
Too petty. But it's a serious matter.
Okay.
There's a petition against you that you've brought Victory Warriors FC signed by Jeffrey Asare as one of your endorsers. This petition here says Jeffrey Asare is not authorized signatory of the club. They pulled it up.
Can be found at the FA, can be found at register.
At the register of company.
No, but here's my question, and I hope I am listeners. I'm asking the questions.
Please go ahead.
Who stands to benefit from choking George Free?
That's quite an interesting question. That's why people would deem,
especially knowing, like as we all do, and we have established to listeners that the committee themselves would not have even known.
They wouldn't
because I mean, how would you know if Fentuo your company? You understand?
And in any case, if let's say Karim is going on assignment,
yeah,
and Gary calls me and go like, okay, sign the form for Karim to go on assignment.
That's it.
And I signed the form. He takes it to procurement, and they go like, no, Muftawu is not supposed to sign. Gary is supposed to sign. I go like, oh, Gary told me to sign.
Yes.
So I signed. I just signed on behalf of Gary. That is all.
Jeffrey didn't sign on behalf of Kuku Batelsto.
Sure.
No.
So
No.
we
Okay, the language. Let's get the language clear.
Thank you.
But the conversation was that he signed on behalf of Kuku Batal.
But hold on, but you've not answered my question. Who you see?
So this one there.
Who stands to
we are going for the conspiracy theory.
It could just be, Gary. It could just be a gatekeeper of good process, of due process.
We are going for the conspiracy theories.
And
where
secondly,
people feel that
Right.
those within the FA are the only people who know the signatories of the various members of the Ghana Football Association. So there's this belief that someone within.
No problem. Let's not double in that. Now let's make progress. What's the situation with the Court of Arbitration for Sport? Is George really going?
Yeah, he's going. He is going.
Because
he's going
he
to
feels that
the documents are being prepared.
Okay.
They are supposed to be submitted on Monday based on information available to me. They feel that they have a strong case, but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I will not double into what the law says. But if you take a look at what happened in the case of Ghana Football Association versus Wilfred Osekwe Kupama, where the Court of Arbitration for Sport felt that there was lots of afterthought in Palmer's case, and they decided to throw it out. I don't know. I feel that CAS might just side with the Ghana Football Association, but George Free and his lawyers, they think otherwise. They think that they've not been fairly treated. Like I mentioned, there's a judicial precedent in the Madam Clinton's case. So it is one area I think they are going to hammer on very strongly when they go to CAS. I also think that the grounds of their appeal, which was not attended to by the appeal committee, is also an area they want to go. Because if we come to you with 5 pointers of what our issues are, and you don't deal we don't address them, they feel that they were being selective in how they handled the matter, and that is their position, and that's why they are going to CAS.
All right, cool. So George Free and his camp are going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport to try and fight. Not the first time that a disqualified candidate is going to the highest judicial body when it comes to sport adjudication. Palmer did it in 2019. Subsequently, of course, he didn't get reinstated in the process, and Ket eventually won the elections. The elections are scheduled for October 5. George's case is going on Monday. The elections are just a few days away from that day, and I'm not sure what reliefs they are seeking from the Court of Arbitration for Sport, if an injunction is a part of the process. But whatever be the case, it looks like we would have Keto Cricket going on a post on October 5. Probably will be elected president pending any subsequent decision from the Court of Arbitration for Sport, who, by the way, can order for elections to be rerun if
that's one of the reliefs they are asking for, and CAS decides to grant it. That is it. Then they'll do it.
So the elections, because I'm confident that the elections would precede the hearing or the decision from CAS.
So usually that, because
it takes some time.
Not all the time, depending on how serious CAS thinks the case is. Sometimes there's something they call provisional measures. The provisional measures are such that your case can be heard even in the space of 24 to 48 hours.
And then they grant some reliefs.
They will grant some reliefs. Yeah. And so if
one of them could be the suspension of the election.
Yes, if they have the money, if George and his team have the money, why not?
I'm just going to say, this is my take on the whole. You see, the Ghana football ecosystem, we really need a lot of time to discuss some of the critical issues that are there. And this particular issue has exposed other aspects of the easy ways in which and the very complicated ways in which our football ecosystem really thrives. Now, the whole reason this has become a matter, from my point of view, is this. Okay, now, the Team Victory Warriors, which have now become the matter of contention. The actual Team Victory Warriors, the name Victory Warriors, didn't exist until August of this year. last month. This is what many people don't know. That the club, Victory Warriors, the name Victory, it didn't exist. And it was not a BA team. Okay? The team that is now known as Victory Warriors, which has endorsed George Afriyie, which has now become a matter, is actually an Upper East team. And the team was originally called Paga Afeni FC. They are actually the Division 2 league winners from the Upper East region. And they won the final of the Division 2 league in the Upper East region in July of this year. So as of July of this year, just 2 months ago, the club was Paga Afeni FC, an Upper East based club. Okay, they win promotion to Division 1. Kuku Bartels and his wife decide that this club, you see, and the way the Ghana football ecosystem is, they divide the country into constituencies. Yeah. The Ghana Premier League is one constituency, which means that whichever place you are, you can compete in the Ghana Premier League. You are not zoned. Mm-hmm. Okay? You're not zoned. Division 1 in the Ghana Premier League, it's divided into 3 constituencies. Okay, so it's zoned. So in each zone, it doesn't matter where you are. So if zone 1 is made up of teams from Upper West, Northern Region, BA, and Upper East, it doesn't matter where the club is, which region the club is, you can compete in that zone. Sure. So it doesn't matter if you are based in Wa or you are based in Wenchi, you can compete in that zone. So what is happening is this. When a club gains promotion to the Division 1, if they are in the Upper East and they don't have money, or they're in the Upper West, somebody from BA can go and buy them, change the name, and bring them to BA, and they become a BA-based team. Okay. Because they can still compete in that zone. Sure. You understand? And that's exactly what Kuku Bartels did. Okay. I'm not saying he was wrong. He has money, he's investing in the football club. He has seen an opportunity to bring a team to his hometown. So he's going to buy it. But what he does is that the Upper East region, which had one Division 1 league club, Kasana Nankana, who were relegated at the end of last season, gained one more promotion. And so there was one Division 1 league team. As a result of that, I dare say, the GFA pumped their FIFA forward funds into completing the Kologo AstroTurf, and we're now building dressing rooms and other adjoining facilities that would now have qualified for a team, for the venue to host Division 1 league games. And that's where Paga Afeni would have played their games.
Are you referring to the AstroTurf in Bogatanga? Winkogo?
Yes, Winkogo, sorry. Yes. Not Kologo, sorry, I beg your pardon. Winkogo. That's the reason the GFA were doing everything possible to put that facility in place so that the Upper East Basin, the one First Division Upper East team, would have used that venue and competed and played all their matches there. Could have created a bit of a local economy. But Kuku Bartels has gone to buy the team. He's brought it to the Upper East region. So, to BA. So I'm telling you guys right now that even until I don't even think that someone like Jeffrey Asari or even Kuku Bartels himself has really, like, he just changed the name of the team and the directors of the team to him and his wife days before he traveled, and all of that happened very recently. So even he himself, I'm quite sure Jeffrey, who was supposed to be a quote general manager, if they ask him who the captain of Paga Afeni or Victory was, he probably doesn't know, because he hasn't really dealt with the team administratively like that, because they only just purchased the team. Who are the players? What are their names? The goalkeeper's name, the right back. They don't know the players. They just purchased the team. And you see, and these things and this is littered all over our football, because a lot of the teams are constituency based and they are registered in the GFA system as teams based in, because you start from somewhere. You start all the way from Coles. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to Coles, you actually play at district level. So if you are registered as a Coles team in the Upper West region in Wa, if you go all the way back and you get relegated and you go all the way back to the Coles, you go and play there. So let me give you a good example. You see Legon Cities, it's Wa All Stars. Mm-hmm. Wa All Stars is a Wa-based team. The reason they were able to buy it, change the name to Legon Cities and bring it to Accra is because the Premier League is one constituency. Yeah. So you can play from anywhere. today, if All Stars or Lagos Cities get relegated to Division 1, they must go back to the Upper West region.
Yeah.
Because that's where they belong.
Yeah.
You understand? So if they or at least they must go back to Zone 1. So they can be based in Techiman or they can be based in Tamale. But they'll go back to base. So if today Lagos Cities get relegated to Division 1, they can no longer be an Accra-based team.
Yep.
It is not allowed. That is your reality. The same for Mediama. If Mediama get relegated to Division 1, they will have to go to Ashanti region.
Kesben.
Thank you.
Which is their roots.
Which is their roots. I think the good thing for them though is that Zone 2 has both Ashanti and Western, so they can stay there. But if they go to Division 2 and they now have to play Division 2, then that one they have to go all the way to Abrankesi.
Yeah.
And these examples are littered all over the place. Even Liberty Professionals, Hohoi, they are now Hohoi United playing the Premier League, so they can take them from Liberty and go to Hohoi because it's one constituency, Division 1. So Greater Accra, so you see that is Zone 3. So Greater Accra, Eastern Region, Volta, they're all in the same zone. So if you play in that division, you can be based in Accra, you can be based in Koforidua, you can be based in Ho. Nobody cares. But if United get relegated to Division 2, Liberty Professionals themselves are not even an Accra registered team. You have to go to Eastern Region. So this is the way our football system is built. And for me, it has both advantages and disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages is exactly what has happened in the case of Victory Warriors, aka Paga Afeni FC. Because right now, that brilliant facility that the GFA has put in place for a team, it's going to be there. There's no team in Division 1 to play. The whole region has not a single Division 1 league team. You know, and I really don't want to go into all of the issues regarding, because George is a very accomplished football administrator. He's got connections galore. Like Muftawu said, he's got so many other clubs that were lining up to sign or endorse his form. This mistake was unpardonable. He himself will be the first one to admit it.
I mean, it's such a rookie error, right?
Especially for a club that was just now beginning and changing a lot of things, and it was almost.
But I don't know. Your take is quite an interesting one, but I don't know if George Efue knew all these when.
I'm sure he does. Kuku Battles is his friend.
Yeah, Kuku Battles is his very, very good friend. That's why this angle you're coming from is quite an interesting one. But just sometimes in these things, you require people you trust to endorse your form. So I'm sure George felt that Kuku is one of the trusted guys he could go to endorse his form, and I'm not sure he had any sort of doubt that Kuku could ask someone who is not an authorized signatory of his club to endorse his form.
No, I think it wasn't. I think the error was an error, just like that. I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that everybody missed it. For me, that's where my slight disappointment is. But I hope he finds the justice he's looking for at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM and 103.9 Hits FM. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, your messages are here on the show. The hashtag is Joy Game Plan. I don't know why I keep saying it. The hashtag is Game Plan on Twitter. Also, the WhatsApp number is 055 1111997. The show is sponsored by Betway and, of course, Petrosol. We'll be right back to the show. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, 103.9 Hits FM. Let me tell you about Water Tank from Dura Plus, the only water storage tank with water level indicator to let you know the accurate water you have available. And when they say 5,000 liters, remember it's 5,000 liters, okay? Dependable, durable water tank. What a tank. If you want to buy a water tank, just call Dura Plus Limited today on 0242 818 874. 0242 818 874. Also, get ready to win big with multimedia, okay? We have been your trusted companion throughout the years, and now it's time for us to give back with loads and loads of cash. Join us for the Sika and Quick Cash mega launch on Monday, the 25th of September at 5 p.m. on all our stations as we give out a whopping 50,000 Ghana cedis. It's really simple. See the way Nathaniel is listening with rap attention. Easy or huh? Relax, Muftawu. All you need to do is this, okay? Dial star 281 hash. Star 281 hash.
Say the thing well.
Star 281 hash. Okay, star 281 hash. And select your favorite station and play now. You could win a piece of the incredible 50,000 Ghana cedis that we're giving away. A ticket cost is just 5 Ghana cedis only, all right? So buy a ticket for 5 Ghana cedis only. A draw will be held and you could be walking away with a share of the 50,000 Ghana cedis. The short code is star 281 hash. Just pen it down and wait for 5 p.m. on Monday to play, okay? Star 281 hash, all right? It's just 5 Ghana cedis. Keep watching and listening to Joy 99.7 FM, Hits 103.9, Love 99.5, and Joy Prime, Adum TV, Adum 106.3, Asempa 94.7, and Inshira 104.5 FM. Remember, the more you play, the higher your chances of winning. Watch out for the mega launch on 25th of September, next Monday at 5 p.m. on all our channels. Just dial star 281 hash and select your favorite station and play now. The NLA Caritas lottery platform is what's regulating this particular one. Sika cha ne DB. Okay, it's quick cash. Win the dough. Also, a bit more on this. Pebby Cups brings you its amazing celebration of Champions Fanfare, which seeks to recognize, celebrate, and reward children who love reading. Come and meet your favorite celebrities, play fun games, and win fantastic prizes. It's happening live at the Fort Sutherland Children's Park on Saturday, 30th September 2023. That's next Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets are going for 40 Ghana cedis and 70 Ghana cedis with food and drinks, and it covers a child and one parent. Okay, parents, don't be left out. For purchasing and more information, contact Pebby Cups at 055 2477 243 055 2477 243. Pebby Cups success is just a book away. All right. Our sponsors here on Game Plan are Betway, and they are asking you to go for gold and bet risk-free on the new season with Betway. Use the golden booking code found on the Betway site to bet on selected match weeks and get 100% back as a free bet on any losses. You always get way more with Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Betway, get way more. And the guy's name we were looking for is Kwame F.
Exactly. That's the name.
Kwame F. Yes. And he won 900.
Over 900,000.
Let me get you the specific figure. Okay, I've got the specific figure here. All right, it was here. It was 960,000 Ghana cedis. 900
plus some coins.
Yeah, 960,000 Ghana cedis. Anyway, so that's that. Go on Betway and win more. Also, Petrosol, proud sponsors of the show, they're asking you to get way more, of course, with your money. Every penny counts, and you have to know, of course, that good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs. So take no risk in times like this. All you need is value for your money. Look no further, okay? Just go to Petrosol. Find any Petrosol fuel station, your go-to station for accurate quantity of high-quality fuel. Be a happy customer. Fill with smiles, drive more miles, and save more money. Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Your messages are welcome. 055-1111-997. I've got a message here from Seydou Adamu, listening to us all the way from DC. He says, very critical issue we're discussing. Ghanaian clubs are losing their history because of the frequent change of names and movement of venues. The law should not allow for clubs to move beyond a certain radius of the club's foundation or home. Imagine Karela moving all the way to Tamale from Enyinase. That club itself has its foundation in Takrady as Metro Stars. So if they get relegated, they're going all the way to Takrady from Enyinase to Tamale. It's crazy, you know. You remember when Roman Abramovich wanted to move Chelsea's home venue? It was hugely restricted. I agree.
You know, it's like the Americans have that problem. I mean, you school in America, so you know. Any billionaire can come and buy a team and just change the location.
Yeah.
You know, in the MLS,
in the MLB,
in
the NBA.
The American sports
they
system.
move teams from city to city.
Yeah, and some team, I think it's Oakland or something recently, about 2 years ago. They've been there for about 60 years. Somebody just gets the money, and then he just uproots them and takes them to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, like
we need to find a
yeah,
way
we need to
of-
like you
of-
see, it's a very important discussion. I know when I was listening, I mean, the programming part of me was wondering, hey, isn't this too topic? But it's not like hot and exciting. But you see, for listening, we can't have those topics all the time.
no.
Sometimes you need nuance, and these things are important.
And this is a very
Yeah,
it's a critical conversation
Yeah.
because we are in an era where we talk about the clubs not
Losing
being
support from
no,
the-
no,
yeah, the
thank
roots.
you.
The
Exactly.
grassroots.
Yes, exactly.
You like Manchester United because it's a community team.
Yes.
Liverpool because it's a community team.
Yeah.
You see,
Imagine somebody buying House of Oak and taking it to Tamale.
exactly.
when
Or just say Kotoko.
no, relax, relax. When media reports emerged many years ago that they were moving House of Folk to the Volta region,
The water region. Who the kind of thing?
do you remember so well? The backlash.
Yes.
Are you taking that club away from the people of
Charlie.
Accra?
That's the thing. This message says, hello, Fen. I'm really enjoying your show. It's the only show I listen to in Ghana now. The sports development issue of Ghana is something else. Everything about Ghana is being dealt with with all forms of mediocrity, sluggishness, and tons of selflessness. I think you mean selfishness.
Yeah.
Why can't we, for once, as a country, pay attention to various sports? We have rich talents, but we can't make the most of it. It took Spain just less than 10 years to develop a national team to win the FIFA Women's World Cup. Can't we just copy from others if we can't invent ours? What at all is a crime of the Ghanaian talent? It's such a disgrace to be called Ghanaian now. Anyway, come Sunday, we'll silence our noisy neighbors. El Davi Madrileno, Ala Madrid. Tell Gary I'm still waiting for the number. Dale in Madrid.
Oh, I said I'll give him something.
Yeah, he said you give him the number. He said he was going to send you more or something.
Yeah.
Sakatu in Luton says, everyone in the football cycle knew Kurt was going on a post. We created a monster in my opinion, and you put monster in quote. I regret being in his corner 4 years ago. Kurt Okreki, he says, Obia time best song. And he says, shaking my head. Interesting. Daniel, you've barely spoken today. I'm going to give you the platform now. The Champions League returned. Man United, Onana, under a lot of pressure, under a lot of fire. They lost their first game, of course, to Bayern Munich. Your thoughts on that? Because it looks like everybody says it is Andre Onana's fault. But the entire team, and Man United, like the records are crazy. Because now they've lost, 4 games in their opening 6 matches of the season. It's not happened since the 80s. It's not a place where the manager wants to be. But that's where they are.
Attoh. And for me, what's funny is how almost every season Man United has 1 or 2 scapegoats who are the causes of everything that is going. And I wonder how that is possible, because I know for sickness, if you have malaria and you take medication, it goes. You are supposed to be healthy, or
Yeah.
you don't take a malaria course when you have actual malaria and then continue to be sick. So I wonder how Man United takes medicine every season, but still the disease is still there. So it just shows you that where you are pointing at is not the root cause of the situation. I said the last season that what
Maybe
was
they are
going
treating
on.
malaria when they have
Something
COVID.
else, yeah.
Look, I said the last season that it wasn't a goalkeeping issue. It wasn't about David De Gea, and I'll be consistent. It's not about Onana. You can't face the volume of shots that he faces and expect that he pulls magic and is all of a sudden saving balls out of nowhere. Yes, that first goal he should have done better. But you can't situate that game and the poor form on that mistake that he made. Go back the week before against Brighton. Are you going to tell me the goals against Brighton were all his fault? Are you going to tell me the goals against Tottenham, against Arsenal were all his fault? No. There's something fundamentally wrong with this team. And especially on the tail end of last season and this season, it's been very clear. In fact, we saw signs in pre-season and I was hammering on it about the structure of the team and how they play. And for me, it's a coaching issue. Ten Hag seriously needs to fix it. And again, you also look at some of the body language of the players. It also goes down to a lack of competition. There was this clip of McTominay losing the ball and then jogging behind. It is very unlike Scott McTominay. I'm one of his biggest critics.
Yeah.
But if it's about work ethic and heart,
He's
and
got it in space.
He's got it. But some way, somehow, United, what was it, like 3-1 down? He loses the ball and he's casually jogging. But when you look at that clip again, everybody who was behind the ball when the ball was lost stayed behind the ball. So it wasn't just McTominay. It was Casemiro. It was everybody
You
who
mean
was
the
behind it.
sequence of 30 passes that led to the goal?
No, not the Brighton one.
Not the Brighton
The
one.
Bayern Munich.
The Bayern
game.
Munich, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It didn't even end up in a goal, but it was a chance. McTominay lost the ball just on the D, and then Bayern had a counter attack. It was Upamecano who picked the ball up from defense and ran all the way to the attack.
But to extrapolate, even the Brighton game, the 30 pass, you saw there was a complete lack of running.
Running, literally
They
just
just kept
standing
backing
there.
up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it is not a. I will not pin it down on McTominay, but if we've noticed it, and this is a coach who, and I'll say it, he sacked somebody because the person wasn't working hard enough.
Ronaldo.
So if that's and he praised Veghals for his hard work. So if that is your marker, then we have to start seeing it in some of the players in the team, because you can't have a 26-year-old luxury player who, when on the ball, doesn't produce the magic like Mbappe and Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, and that is Rashford. If you are going to be walking around in the attack and not putting in defensive work, then it means that when the ball comes onto your pitch, you should be able to provide a spark, and that is what luxury players are there for.
Yeah.
So then they compensate for their lack of running when they have the ball and the magic that they create. But he doesn't do that, and United don't have any player of that caliber. So then we should see some of these things, especially the press. It is so non-existent, and for me, that is one of the major reasons why the defense suffers. If you remember, Fentuo, a couple of years ago, I did an analysis of Man's defensive situation, and I mentioned the fact that it is not down to personnel. And we are sitting here today.
Systems.
It is a new backline and a new goalkeeper, but still the same results. So I was right. Yeah, I was right.
Interesting.
So the coach needs to fix the structure.
Interesting. This weekend, quick one, Gary. Spurs Arsenal.
So Arsenal are coming off the back of a good 2 games. I mean, the weekend game was a bit more difficult to win, right?
Yeah.
They had to
Everton.
they had to scrape through. It was easier than PSV as well. And the PSV conversation, look, just to digress for a few seconds, the other European leagues apart from the EPL, like, they are so behind, it's not even funny. You know, and then I'm back to the Arsenal thing, because like the lack of fight in those leagues when they meet the West Ham and things is crazy. You know, I mean, they describe the West Ham win as a routine win. You know, and then if they meet another Dutch team, they will have a routine win again. So Arsenal are coming off the back of 2 good performances, but there's something about this Spurs team, and it is the coach. My biggest problem with the Spurs team, from an Arsenal point of view, a biased point of view, is Angie. The coach is doing something I don't like.
Which is?
It's something good I don't like as an Arsenal fan.
He's a very likable fellow.
He's a very and you see the players are listening to him.
Yeah.
They like him first.
That's
and they are playing for him.
they are playing for him. They are listening
Apart
to him.
from that, even we like him. What is there to hate about the man?
Exactly. Pragmatic,
And
you know.
he's got some interesting quotes out there.
Yeah,
He's a relatable
He's
guy.
a very relatable guy, you know. So, and they are listening to his instructions. So that's the problem. We don't know him enough. I mean, I've been following him from back when he was in Australia.
Yeah.
Yes,
Head
and,
coach.
Yes, and he was in the Far East and all that. So, Charlie, he's a problem.
And you must find solutions.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, quick predictions.
he's the sort of coach that will get Song and others to play better than they usually would individually.
You know, I'm revising my notes on Spurs.
Yeah.
Where they will finish.
Yeah, so I'm not.
Honestly.
That's why
Newcastle
I'm not
will
able to give a prediction. Unfortunately, I'm not able to. Of course, as an Arsenal
Over
fan.
2.5.
Yeah,
Over
over 2.5.
Goes Beba more.
Goes Beba more.
Someone will win. You will not win.
Thank you, Muftawu. Thank you, Nat. Thank you, Muftawu. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Nathaniel. Attoh also joined us earlier today. That's our show for today. Game Plan will be available as a podcast on YouTube and also on all podcast platforms, Apple Music, and what have you. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo. We're back again next Friday at exactly 1:15 p.m. I hope you enjoyed the show. Sponsored by Petrosol and Betway. Until next time, we're out. Take care of yourself.